So, Michael, what do you think about last night's futures trading activity, overnight activity?
Very interesting. I really thought we was gonna wake up this morning and be really being double what we were down last night, but that wasn't the case. I talked about it earlier. The Russell was down 44 and reversed back up, and then to higher than it was when it started lower. Than the Nasdaq reversed 219 points. So
It's
yeah,
just
so
it's just amazing.
yeah, we go, we have a little conflict, and then it sells off, but then then it turns right around, and just rallies right back up. So that tells me we're in a bull market.
Well, so we definitely have a lot of strength to the upside, but there's some fear out there, right?
Yes,
There's
yeah,
some nervousness out there based on some things happening in the world. So,
yeah. Well, yeah, and like a gentleman asked me last night, he said, "Well, are we gonna sell off?" And this was before all the. I mean, this was during the war. During the I don't want to call it a war, during the conflict. I said, "Well, regardless of what happens tonight, look back in time, the market cycles every day, every week, every month, every year. It cycles. So everybody's get all upset about say it's going to sell off, but it cycles, and that's what we like. That's why we have the cycle finder. So I mean, bottom line, that's what it is. I mean, the cycle finder plus. I mean, it's fantastic.
well, so I'm glad you mentioned that, and um, I want to. I want to share with folks just a little tidbit of a stock. We talked last week about Amazon, we talked about Tesla, we talked about bookings, and we're talking about daily signals on the Cycle Finder Plus. So we're going to be teaching the Cycle Finder Plus and how to use it. There's three different levels or three different methods of using the Cycle Finder Plus, depending on what type of trader you are. So we are really excited about that. But I wanted to just share one more tidbit with you. I was taking a look at Google, and Michael, do you mind if I share my screen with you?
Oh, absolutely. Go ahead. No problem.
All right, can you see that okay?
We can see it just fine, Mark.
Okay. So I was taking a look at Google, and the whole principle of the Cycle Finder Plus, which is this indicator right here, if you've not seen this before, is to present to us the evidence that a new cycle is about ready to start, or the old cycle's ending. So those cycles can exist in a very short time period, 1 or 2 days, or they can last for several days. As Michael said, it doesn't really matter what's going on in the world. There's always some type of cycling going on. And the whole purpose of developing the Cycle Finder Plus, we worked with New Cycle Trading and Analytics to do that. The whole purpose of developing it was specifically to give traders an edge in being able to identify where that cycle is. So if you're a short-term trader, Michael's been talking about Cycle Finder Plus on a 3-minute, 10-minute basis. But what if you're a long-term trader and you just want to look at the chart in the morning when the market opens and identify a possible trade? Well, Cycle Finder Plus on a daily cross will give you that opportunity. So what I did here is I set up a replay of the daily chart on Google. This is just an example. As I said, we've talked about Amazon bookings. We've talked about the NASDAQ. We've talked about Tesla. And so this is another really great example. If I go back to early December, and I'm just going to go through here real quick and show you what the trades were. December 4th, here's a cross to the upside. What you're looking for is this blue trend line to cross above the red trend line. And that at open would tell you to go ahead and buy a call, buy to open a call as an options trader. So that December 4th trade, the sweet spot, and we're going to be talking about what that sweet spot means stock by stock during the masterclass, but the sweet spot is 18 points. So if the underlying stock moves 18 points, then you've got a good till canceled order set to close based on whatever delta you've opened your option at. So that took us out at our sweet spot of 18 points. It actually moved a maximum of 52 points. Then you can see it continue to move. Then the next trade was on December 10th. So right here, December 10th, you see a cross back to the downside. The blue trend line is crossing below the red trend line. And what we have then is an opportunity at the open to buy to open a put. So we buy to open a put on Google, and that one ended up not hitting our 18-point movement, but on the reversal, which was on the next cross, which was the 12th of December, on that reversal, we ended up taking 4 points of profit, or 4 points of movement. So we still had a profit, didn't hit our target, but we closed at the reversal. And on that reversal, you're buying to open a call on the 12th, and then we hold that until it reverses again. Got into a little bit of choppiness here, but that's really great to see that choppiness still creates profitable opportunities for you. So that long position, buying a call on the 12th, was an 18-point movement. The short that we're into now on the 17th, so we would be buying a put here. That lasted until you can see it going here, that lasted until the 26th of December, and that actually allowed us to take a profit based on an 18-point movement also. Ended up moving total of 20 points, so 18 points was a perfect sweet spot. That long, buying a call on the 26th, gave us a nice opportunity also. It reversed a couple days later on the 30th, but it gave us an opportunity to take a profit based on 18 points of movement. And then the put that we would buy on the 30th, you can see that went lower until January 2nd. We had another reversal. And on the 30th, we would go short, meaning we bought a put. It moved our 18-point target again and actually moved a total of 30 points. That was the maximum movement. And then the January 2nd trade, you can see it's actually still in play. It has not crossed back to the downside. But if we had just said, let's close the trade today, it's a 60-point movement total. That's the maximum movement that we've seen so far. So it would have hit our 18-point movement underlying. So here's the bottom line of those numbers. If you're trading one contract on each call and each put that you trade, if you're trading one contract, the total profit for those 7 trades, that's 7 trades since December 4th, using the daily chart, the total profit is $5,600. That's the total profit if you're trading one contract, $5,600. So one of the reasons I'm so personally excited about teaching the masterclass coming up, starting actually next week, Tuesday, the January 14th, is because of this daily cross opportunity. And we apply the exact same principle to shorter time periods. If you're a futures trader or you're a short-term day trader on options, but it is a phenomenal indicator that we've worked extensively with New Cycle Trading to develop and bring to the Options Moneymaker community of traders. Also, one last thing here. Tonight, today is Wednesday, January 8th. Tonight we have our regularly scheduled Q&A, but I have a guest tonight in the Q&A. I'm going to be interviewing Craig. Craig is the head of development for New Cycle Trading and Analytics, and we're going to be talking with Craig about some of the history of the development of these signals and giving you a little preview of what's coming in the masterclass, where we're going to be talking about not only how to properly trade the daily signal cross, how to properly trade the alignment between a 3 and a 10 minute. We've got other time periods that will allow you to take advantage of continuation trades, how the Cycle Finder Plus works with the normal Cycle Finder, the profit flow oscillator and trend consensus, as well as the AO and the trend bias indicators, how all of it bundles together so that you can turn 2020 into your most profitable trading year. I'm pretty excited also about a tool that we're creating. Aaron and I have put our heads together and created a tool for those of you who are signing up for the masterclass. And basically, it is going to show you all the detail of every trade in 2019 for a group of stocks that we've done all of the research on. And it's going to show you what a reasonable sweet spot is. Sweet spot is what's reasonable to expect in terms of a movement of the underlying equity. And then you can set your good till canceled order to close based on that. And you'll be able to decide, well, what percentage success rate, what percentage win rate do you want? We've actually built a feature into the spreadsheet, which we'll be providing for you in the masterclass to say, I'm a very conservative trader. I want a 90% win rate. That's going to then define for you based on the 2019 history what the sweet spot is. If you're a more aggressive trader, you're looking for a bigger dollar number, you could set your desired percentage win rate at 60%, and that's going to define a different sweet spot for you. So what we're doing here, summary, is we're introducing you to the Cycle Finder Plus, how it integrates with all the other indicators. We're sharing with you different time periods, whether you're an options trader, a stock investor, or a futures trader, short term, how to use that properly, how to look for alignment on short-term basis, long-term, daily crosses, and then how to set your profit target specifically for options trading. So pretty excited about it. Join us in the Q&A tonight. And if you haven't already signed up for the masterclass and you're a serious trader, I strongly suggest that you get yourself signed up and make it a profitable year for yourself.